And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall show from the Classic Auto Mall studio in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Coming back with our weekly feature. Joining us is Keith Martin from on the left coast. And we're bringing his blog to life, which is been a lot of fun. And I love your subject this week, Keith. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
We've got good weather here. How about you?
Well, it's cold, but it's sunny, so we'll take it. We got a few of the cars out. I'm in the market for another car, apparently. I just didn't know it. You know, I have a problem that when all these cars show up, I want half of them. We had a Beck 550 Spider come in that is in this ice blue that's stunning that I can't keep my eyes off of. So we'll see.
Is that a $40,000 car?
This one is more than that, but normally they're $40,000 to $45,000. But this one is literally in the wrapper. I mean, it is practically brand new and got all the Porsche parts. It's the Volkswagen instead of the Subaru engine, which the purist I think like better, even though saying purist on a replica car is weird. But really an interesting car and a lot of fun. And of course, you know, finding parts for it shouldn't be too hard if you've got a good swap meet to go to, right? Look at that segue.
Look at that. That was perfect. So the swap meet out here, Stuart, is called Always in April. And so it's always the first weekend in April, and it's billed itself as the largest swap meet west of the Mississippi.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. And swap meets are somehow surviving, although we can't quite figure out why. Because who wants to drag a bumper through the mud at Hershey, right?
Hershey's a little different.
Right.
The swap meet, this is its 59th year.
Wow.
And it's put on by a volunteer group. They used to have a few thousand cars. It used to be you'd wait all year to bring your car out to the swap meet to put it up for sale.
In the car corral, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, or all spread out through the whole thing.
Really?
I have sold Roadrunners there, and I bought Izettas, and if you listed a car for sale, you got a prime spot and got to drive in early.
Oh, so worth your while.
Yeah, huh? $30 or $40, you know, you list your car. And then, of course, what I'll never forget is the education I got about any car that I brought there.
Oh, well, wow.
The number of people that told me what was screwed up about my car was unbelievable.
There's a lot of experts out there, aren't there?
It's more than you could shoot at, although you'd like to shoot some of them.
Isn't that the truth? And you know what's funny is the guys we call the in mom's basement experts who are sitting in a folding chair in their sweatpants, and they're telling you everything that's wrong with a particular car, and half the time they're wrong.
Yeah.
So
half the time they've never owned one of those cars.
Never owned one of the cars, exactly, and never had any knowledge of them other than what they read on the internet, which is one of the things that we always talk about, is that the importance of realizing that the internet can, just because it says it on the internet does not make it so.
Well, Stuart, if I'm going to jump over to Sports Car Market for a second, what we pride ourselves on is only printing stuff that we believe is absolutely accurate.
Sure. Yeah, you can't just wing it. You know, you can't just say, well, we think it might be, or, you know, we get so many people who definitively say they never made a Mustang and Chartreuse in 1967, and yet they did. So we find that as well, too. But going to these swap meets, the other side of it is there's a lot of guys who can give you some wonderful information about restoring your car, or what part works, or why this works better than that.
I agree with that, although I'm seeing fewer cars. There was only one foreign car at this whole swap meet, wow. A Fiat 2000 Spider. It's really keeps drifting backwards to restorable ancient Americana.
Right.
And parts.
And there's a lot of foreign cars in your part of the world, so it's not as if there's not a lot of those type of cars there and the market's changed. They're there.
They're there, but I think they're going to bring a trailer or to other consignment things. Or, I mean, there are so many more options to sell your car now than there were when this swap meet started.
Right. Well, and swap meets were not only finding the elusive part that you couldn't find, that you could all of a sudden, when eBay came along, you could find one on eBay that you had to pay a little extra for, and then you had to pay shipping for. But there was stuff that was there that you didn't even know existed that you would see at the swap meet and wouldn't know to look for on eBay or any other online site.
Right. Right. There's what I love about a swap meet is the avocational moment where you're walking down an aisle and you see something that you didn't know existed, but you know you had to have.
Right.
And what I've learned, Stuart, my technique on swap meets is when you're walking down all those aisles, if you see something you think you're interested in, buy it right then on the spot and don't look back.
Yeah, because it'll be gone.
When you say to yourself, "Oh, I'll come back here later," it's not going to happen.
There is no comeback. It's the be-backs in car dealers that they never come back. Oh, we'll be back this afternoon. No, you won't. Don't tell me that.
I have to check with my wife.
Yeah, that's exactly right. At a swap meet, the good news about a swap meet is usually it's pocket money that the wife does or doesn't know about, and you can buy a part, and then you don't have to worry so much. And there's no. My problem is I can't use a credit card because my wife checks all the bills. She's the one who, and she's like, hey, what is this? $12 here? I don't know. Give me $100 bill and break it, and I can not tell you where any of it went.
So I had my son bought a '98 V70 wagon, and I had him pay for it with cash.
Oh, that was a good lesson.
With $3,000, I had him count the $50 bills out on the hood of the car,
nice,
and had the new owner recount the money. And then had him take the VIN and walk over to the car and check the VIN of the title against the VIN of the car. Some people commented on my Facebook thing. They said, people are still buying cars with cash.
Right. I think that there should be a Boy Scout merit badge for buying something like that in cash and knowing how to do that and count the money. And then the fact that you made him check the VIN against the title and against the VIN on the car, because I can't tell you how many wrong VINs there are. And it's one thing if you're a dealer and have ways that you can legal processes that you can do. But when you're an individual and you buy a car that's got a wrong VIN, you could be up, what creek.
Yeah, well, at the very least, you're going to the local highway patrol to have VIN certified and a new temporary VIN tag put on your car. It's a bad deal.
So when you went to the swap meet recently, did you buy anything?
I bought a $5 Isetta.
That big?
Yeah, it was that big. I bought several Izettas at the swap meet, but I love Izettas.
Right.
But I really I was by myself. And I took mass transit out there. I'm on my mobility scooter, so it was a pleasant. I prefer to go with my son because then there's two of us out hunting.
Sure.
I was by myself, and I just kind of cruised. There was nothing there. I don't really need anything right now for any of my cars, and because we're downsizing our condo, bringing something home that's bigger than a golf ball is against the rules.
Right. You just can't do it. You're not allowed.
No, well, but. It's the social aspect is wonderful.
I agree. The camaraderie of that. The thing I like about a swap meet is it's more fluid. If you go, there's what the success, I think, in my opinion, of Cars and Coffee versus traditional car shows is the fact that, A, you're not locked down for all day. You don't have to sit there on your folding chair behind your car from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. If you're at a swap meet, everything's kind of fluid. Parts are moving. The guy's doing this. You're moving. Same with the Cars and Coffee. Cars are coming and going. You're not locked in to be there all day because some of these car shows, they won't let you leave. If you come in, you're in for the day, pal.
No, when I've been MC at Concord, the biggest problem is getting people to stay till the end of the show.
Exactly. Yep.
And it's really kind of a discouraging when cars start lining up to leave while you haven't even gotten to best of show yet.
Right, exactly.
There are a lot of people who are not young who are showing their cars, and they've had to be there at 7 or 8 a.m., and they've been in their folding chairs in the sun all day long. There's a certain user cruel element to a formal concours.
Right. And no different with a swap meet. I mean, you're out there all day long in the element, which is what we as humans are kind of designed to be. I mean, we're supposed to be getting way more vitamin D than we're getting. Like I don't know anything about any of this, but we're outside creatures. We're supposed to be outside, but now you got skin cancer and yada yada yada, right?
The weather was fabulous, and I've been to the swap meet in pouring rain, and I've been to the swap meet, and when it's sunshine, it's just glorious.
Yeah, it really is.
Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah, it really is. And there's some interesting swap meets. There's that one. There's the one in Hershey we were talking about. There's Carlisle that's right here. There's Wisconsin, Iola, Wisconsin has got it. I've never been, but everybody says that's one. And still, pretty strong and prevalent swap meet that goes on there. No question about it.
They're moral, and they're also mark specific, like Pomona swap meets for VWs or Porsches or things like that. I was sitting on the train going out to the swap meet, and I was sitting next to a Mopar guy, and I guess there's something called the Spring Fling, which is in Southern California,
right,
which is where all the Mopar guys come together every year.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. Thank God that in Sports Car Market magazine, you actually have a calendar that shows some of these events and when they're going on, and we can all kind of pencil in our calendar. So if you got a special offer for our watchers and listeners?
I have got the deal of life for you guys.
Nice.
Now, Sports Car Market has been $88 for a long time. Premier, we do well, people pay for it, but I'm going to give everybody watching today a special deal, 6 months for $19.95.
A bargain.
And you go to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and then the number 6.
I like it.
Sportscarmarket.com /test drive number 6.
There you go.
Get 6 months. It's the Wall Street Journal of car collecting. We've been around for 38 years. We have the best writers in the industry. And as I said to you earlier, it's as if you took all the trolls that were on Bring a Trailer and took the very best, smartest ones and had them look at the cars that were being for sale.
Yeah, because
and we analyze Bring a Trailer sales as well.
Well, absolutely, because it's part of you can't ignore it. It's certainly unignorable, if that's even a word. I don't know. If it isn't, I've declared it will be a word today. So once again, always great to have you on, Keith. So glad that the weather's nice out there on the left coast, and we'll anxiously await next week's blog and something fun to talk about again.
It's great being here. I appreciate this opportunity.
Take care, Keith. We'll see you next week.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stuart Howden.